to SourceFedNERD. I'm Trisha Hershberger, and you may be surprised to learn that Thanksgiving is the deadliest U.S. holiday. That's right, thanks to car accidents, houses burning down, overeating, and much more. And while we love to stuff our faces with food and visit with family members and remember all the things that we're thankful for, Thanksgiving really has the potential to be the worst holiday ever. So I scoured the internet for the absolute most horrifying top 10 epic Thanksgiving mishaps of all time. All true stories. None of these are my stories. Thank God. Sometimes your horror centers around the actual bird itself and your lack of culinary skills. Number 10, tire turkey. Christina McWhorter from Prairie Grove, Arkansas brings us this one. Several years ago, while my sister and I still lived at home, my father spent several hours preparing the turkey that we were to take to my grandma's house for our Thanksgiving dinner. Dressed and ready to go, my father started backing the car out of the driveway when we heard a horrible noise coming from underneath the car. Turns out he had set the turkey down behind the car while we were loading everything else and forgot to put it in. The car dragged the turkey a few feet down the driveway, it was demolished, and we weren't able to salvage it. My father was upset that he had done something so stupid, and as I began crying, the dogs took off with what was left of our turkey. Wah, wah. At number 9 is the story of the turkey time bomb. Now, before this person's mom had polished off her cooking skills to what everyone now knows and loves, she had an incident with her turkey. She had decided to use a recipe she had gotten from her sister for wonderful rice stuffing. Now, back in the day, it was the standard thing to do to sew the stuffed turkey close after you put all of it in. She missed one step in the recipe, the step where you're supposed to cook the rice before you put it into the bird. Mom had unwittingly created a ticking turkey time bomb. Luckily, there were no casualties when the oven door was blown open with bits of turkey and rice flying everywhere. Except for the turkey, but he was a goner anyway. Sometimes the horror of Thanksgiving comes from the awkward environment created by simply having to spend time with your relatives. Thanksgiving horror number 8, too much pepper. In 2006, a drunken brother came home whilst his family is inside carving the turkey. The mother did not immediately recognize him, so she pepper sprayed him. While the other family members tried to stop her, she then turned around and pepper sprayed the rest of her family. She apologized 5 hours later, and then everyone had turkey. Story number 7, circle jerk. Liz from Los Angeles tells us her tale of woe. We were at my buttoned-up aunt and uncle's house. They set up their Thanksgiving table buffet style. My dad and I were standing next to it, trying to make stilted conversation. We really don't have much in common with them. My uncle said, "I guess we're supposed to go in a circle." And I said, "Yes, and then we can all do a circle dance." Only I did not say the word dance. Lord help me, for some unknown reason, the word I said was jerk. It was like I had a sudden attack of Tourette syndrome, and literally we all just sort of stared at the space where my words had flown out of my mouth. Finally, my uncle proceeded to start loading up his plate without comment, as my dad stared straight ahead, unsure whether to laugh or beat me to a quivering pulp. At this point, we laughed, but I think it was touch and go there for a while. Number 6. Grandparents go shot for shot. Now, Meredith Perry has some very special grandparents who challenged each other to a Thanksgiving drinking contest of doing shots of wild turkey. It doesn't really end well. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. Everyone gets sloppy. Granny starts in on how they have these newfangled perfumes with pheromones in them to attract a man to have sex with. Gramps decides to let everyone know that he thought his son was gay until he got married. They're neck and neck by the time that someone slams the food down on the table. Everyone sits down to eat, but Oak Tree Grandpa misses his chair entirely and manages to clutch onto the tablecloth, bringing it down to the ground along with all the food. Awesome. Number 5, Thanksgiving tale of woe. Naked Grandpa. David M's horrific tale from back in the day goes as follows. It's Thanksgiving Day, 1977. 4 generations of family are all there, seated around the table. Overweight Grandpa Lee is getting some good-natured ribbing from Grandma Grace about his weight. "Better hold off on the potatoes, Lee. You're gonna lose your boyish figure." Lee stands up in front of the whole crowd, strikes a muscle man pose, and sucks in his gut to simulate rock-hard abs. Problem is, Lee has forgotten to wear his suspenders as he usually does, and there's nothing to keep his baggy pants from falling completely down to the ground, taking his boxer shorts along with them. The result is Grandpa Lee standing there in a bodybuilder pose, naked from the waist down in front of his entire family. Number 4, shotgun Thanksgiving. This one comes from Blackbird Pie on Gawker. It's the 1970s yet again, Thanksgiving Day in Louisiana. A boyfriend has brought his girlfriend, let's call her Sue, home to meet his family for the first time. His uncle gets way too drunk and offends the lovely lady Sue by calling her a Jew from New York. They're from New York. And the entire rest of the family proceeds to apologize to Sue, and they all go to bed. Until Sue is woken in the middle of the night by cries of, "Go out the back door now!" Turns out Uncle Jerkface now has a shotgun, is decidedly more drunk, and is coming for her. Good news is she got away. Bad news is people suck. Tale number 3. Popeye's hat fail. Now we all know the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and in 1957, a gigantic Popeye balloon was featured with an indentation in the top of his hat. That indentation started filling up with rainwater, which caused the balloon to go off course, veer over the assembled crowd, and dump hundreds of gallons of freezing cold water all over them. The balloon was quickly retooled to make sure that the hat had no such indentation. Thanksgiving mishap number 2. The melodramatic mama. Oh man, Gawker user Rabbity Thing's mom is not a good cook, but insisted on making the turkey for their Thanksgiving anyway. She shows up about an hour late with 4 little dogs, their teacup Malteses, and proceeds to chunk down a giant-ass turkey, still covered, right in the center of the table. She then yanks off the cover to reveal the blackest turkey you have ever seen in your life. It was the good old-fashioned fires of hell that burnt that poor bird to oblivion. There was an uncomfortable silence, followed by hysterical laughter. Then she totally went off the deep end. Cursing, all hell broke loose, everyone was laughing, there was a baby bawling, the dogs are going nuts, there's twins hiding under the table. Mom then proceeds to rip the turkey out of the pan with her bare hands, kicks the back door open, shattering the window in the process, and hurls the turkey into the backyard. Totally normal reaction. But the turkey that's been hurled into the backyard lands on one of her dogs and knocks the dog out. So they ended up spending the rest of Thanksgiving at the vet's office, and the dog was fine. Awful Thanksgiving story number 1. Ninja turkey. This is told from the perspective of shouldn't even be here today on Gawker. We were going to my cousin's house upstate for Thanksgiving that fateful year. My uncle, a backwoods enthusiast, always bagged a fresh turkey, which he obtained from a pen in his yard. The day before Thanksgiving, my brother had shown an unusual interest in the bird. Thanksgiving morning came, and my uncle was out at the crack of dawn, ready to kill the turkey. He was shocked to see blood. When he opened the pen, the bird freaked out, running out of the pen. It leaped, and since the property was fenced off, my Uncle Ed gave chase. The bird stopped abruptly. Ed swears he saw the bird narrow his eyes. It made a sudden lunge, and its wing flashed ominously. Apparently, the bird thought he was in the road company of West Side Story. My uncle suddenly had blood running down his leg. My brother, who was watching the whole thing, began screaming, "It worked! Holy shit, it worked!" Later, we learned that my brother, making friends with the turkey, included duct taping a blade to him. My aunt ran out to see what was going on. In 2 seconds, she assessed the situation, grabbed a gun, and killed that turkey dead. Uncle Ed maintained that it was just a flesh wound, like a Monty Python character, as the blood spurted from his leg. He was lucky. Only 8 stitches. So all of you out there, please take care of this turkey day and don't let this happen to you. Tell us your Thanksgiving horror stories, or tell us what you're thankful for this Thanksgiving in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can click this annotation or go to SourceFed.com, see all our typed out stuff. You can even check out our new channel, For Human Peoples, and see what's going on there. My name's Trisha Hershberger, and I'm so glad I never had to fight with a razor blade turkey.